getting tired pretending that there's any conversation to be had whether or not universal healthcare will save lives and money. Universal healthcare, or Medicare for all, or a single payer system, whatever you want to call it, has been implemented so many times in so many nations, and every single time their life expectancy goes up, their morbidity rates go down, and they save money relative to the United States, which has a for-profit system. I have a professor that said something that stuck with me. He said that America has the best healthcare system in the world, and America has the worst healthcare system in the world. Now, the crux of that is America has the best healthcare system in the world if you're very rich. If you're rich, you can cut to the front of the line. You can pay for treatment that has not yet been approved by insurance companies. You have the ability to go travel for certain healthcare procedures that the United States doesn't do well. If you're rich in the South, you can travel to a Western or Northern state in order to deliver your baby because the South has such atrocious mortality rates for mothers that you do not want to give birth down there. But if you are middle class, or God forbid you're poor, or a racial minority, or a different type of minority, the United States healthcare system fails every single time when you're looking at these metrics. Universal healthcare is a way to level the playing field for everyone, which means that rich people need to go to the same doctors that us peasants need to go to. And so we better have good doctors across the board so that way rich people get good care. By implementing universal systems, we are essentially making it possible for all of us to benefit because the rich want to benefit. Trickle-down economics is a dead economic theory, or a zombie theory. It keeps on being brought back like, oh my gosh. No major economist worth their salt actually believes that trickle-down economics works. But there's a lot of money on the line for them to keep bringing the dang argument back up. The only time it has any reminiscence of reality is if we make rich people use the same systems that us poor people have to use too. Universal healthcare is a way to ensure that, and that is one of the reasons that all of these other nations that implement it have better health outcomes. A lot of people will bring up the tired argument that what about the fat people in America? We are so obese. First of all, we're not that obese anymore relative to the rest of the world. Second of all, the obesity in the United States does not come close to explaining the negative health outcomes that we experience. And then thirdly, our entire system is set up to not help us get healthy and not help the kids stay healthy. Yeah, we can talk about obesity too. That is a problem. It's a systemic problem. It's not a parent's fault that the entire society that they grew up in and their kids are growing up in doesn't teach them how to eat well. It's not families' faults that suburbs are literally deserts if you want to walk somewhere. If you don't own a car or easy transport, you can't go grocery shopping on foot in most suburbs in the United States. We've built them wrong. Or we built them right because the automobile industry stepped in and made sure we needed a car for everything. There is no longer any conversation to be had about whether or not healthcare is a human right. It is. The only way for us to go about this is to stop feeling apologetic about being good people. We should not apologize for wanting to help others with resources that are available. We're not going in and trying to steal something from someone else. We are trying to stop resources from being thrown away instead of helping people. And then you have this whole argument about, well, how are we going to reward corporations? Aren't they innovating? No, they're not. Look up what large corporations are currently doing when it comes to smaller research institutions. What big pharma is currently doing when it comes to drug manufacturing and development is they go in and buy small research institutions, shut down all of their research facilities, make sure they own the patent for the drugs that are already proven, and then mark those up and sell those drugs to the public and price gouge us. Our system is not incentivizing innovation. Corporations are never going to care about the public's good. We do, you and me. But we have to fight back. We need to be unapologetic. The other side never apologizes. When they say they want to cut Medicaid and Medicare because it's not in the budget, while simultaneously increasing the budget for killing programs like the military, increasing our deficit while decreasing societal benefits, they don't apologize. They laugh and smile on their way to the bank because their corporate donors paid them to have that opinion. That is not acceptable, and we need to fight back. There are ways for us to go about this, but one of those ways is the first thing we need to do is get money out of politics. Citizens United was one of the most detrimental, terrible rulings that has ever happened, that essentially allowed corporations to say that money is free speech and corporations are people. Therefore, corporations can donate as much money anonymously to super PACs. And these super PACs can then tell the politicians who donated to them without informing the public and get politicians into office. Time and time again, politicians that run on public campaigns that have more money than their opponents win. Not to mention all the gerrymandering going on. Did you know gerrymandering is perfectly legal? In fact, there is a crazy John Oliver episode where he shows a court hearing where the Republicans' argument is that they gerrymandered the districts not out of racism, because what actually ended up happening is typically black voters vote more Democratic than Republican. So what the Republicans did was they made sure that black voters were disenfranchised by gerrymandering. And their argument was they gerrymandered based off of political interests, not off of racism. First of all, I don't buy that for a second. Second of all, you're saying it's okay that our public officials are gerrymandering to alter our votes off of political reason? That's not how the game is played. That's not how the public voice gets heard. If you want to win our vote. If you want to continue your political career, create great ideas that the public rallies behind. Stop tearing the stuff that works down. Stop running on single issues. Now, there are all sorts of other ways that we can start addressing these systems, like ranked choice voting. We might talk about that someday. But I think the biggest message here is that universal healthcare works, and we can do something about it. We, the people, can come together and make a better society moving forward. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, I really appreciate that. Please like and subscribe. Drop a comment. Tell me, what is it that you want to see happen in order for us to make society better together? What conversations are you tired of having to justify your opinion for when you're just a good person wanting better for everyone? We can do this together. It's not that hard. We just need to take action and stop trying to play a game that the other side is breaking all the rules for. The competition is over. They're cheating left and right. Let's step up. Let's stop this. We can fight back and we can win. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day.